All right, what's up, guys? I'm Connor Ferguson here with Josh Olmstead and Caleb Slowa. There you go, buddy.
I don't think it was still right.
It is the Asphalt Podcast right here on Always Race Day. Lots of stuff to talk about. I think it's our longest rundown we've ever done, so we're going to try to get through it in a timely manner. Talking about Denny Hamlin's win, the NASCAR most popular driver list. Ty Dillon Spotter got fired. That was a new one that happened today. And a few other things. TV ratings are in there. And then we're bringing on a guy I've known from Twitter for probably like 12 years at this point. And Dylan Goodin, he's a content creator does a lot of racing video games on YouTube. And I love watching his videos. So we're going to bring him on, talk about NASCAR 25, our thoughts on it. I can't wait to get to that. But we got to do the serious-ish stuff first. We're still going to have fun on here.
Can we say Mr. Goodin is also the #1 Landon Castle fan? So.
Yeah, no, sadly, I always wanted that title, and he took it from me, like right out of my cold 12-year-old dead hands when I logged onto Twitter and found out who he was. So we'll talk about that, I'm sure. Anyway, without further ado, and a big thank you to Chris Weiser and the Weiser companies. They hopped on board during the Knoxville Nationals. It's our biggest 10 days of the year, and they made them just a little bit bigger, a little bit sweeter, and some fun, exciting, interesting, boisterous. I don't know if I'm using that right. A lot of cool stuff coming from Chris Weiser and the gang over there. So I can't wait for you guys to see some of that stuff and see what we've got planned for 2026. But anyway, it's the middle of October still. There's a sprint car race going on. You might hear us talk a little dirt tonight as well. So without further ado, I did not have the theme song queued up. So let me just ad-lib a little bit here. Click on the right one. Okay. God, Chase Elliott at the Roval and Iowa Speedway in the same intro. Only thing it's missing is Talladega.
Speaking of.
Yeah, no, we'll get to that because
we'll
we got to recap first. And I'll try my hand at the Eric Church thing. I still wish YouTube would let me just put the Talladega part of that in. I think we could get away with it. I really don't want to risk it tonight though, because we got a famous YouTuber coming on, and I'm hyping him up a lot because I love his stuff. And I don't think we've ever had a conversation together in person or anything. We've DM'd a few times, but Denny Hamlin wins at Las Vegas, gets his 60th win, his series leading sixth win of the year, if I can talk today. What do you guys think? He came out timely caution late in the race, and Hamlin took advantage of it and ran away with that race.
I was waiting for
Josh. Not everybody all at once, please.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, it was that I did not expect that. I mean, granted, yes, the car was on pole, but as race trim overall, like I didn't think he had it. He had maybe 5th place, 6th place speed, but I mean, he really just turned it on in the last 20 laps, and I was shocked, and I was actually more shocked that the 2 tires lasted as long as they did, but. Yeah, I did not expect that. Shout out to Hamlin for 60 wins. I was hyped. I'm pumped for it. I'm Team Hamlin this year.
I also would say being 10th at 20 to go and then to come pull off the win, and we got to see Denny Hamlin actually emotional after the fact. And it's one of those wins where he hit the 60 win milestone, and we weren't really talking about him getting his 60 win milestones. Like, it definitely feels like this could be his year. And I was talking with some people before this, and they said, even if he wins the championship, it's still going to be, kind of sad just because it's this format. And so, is it truly going to mean anything? And I think he's a little different than some of the champions that we've seen in the past years, where he's been solid all season long. And, it's not that he has just kind of bided his time to get to this point. I mean, he has been one of the best cars week in, week out. And, so I feel like he is very deserving of it, not only from his past, his whole career to this point, but also this season as well.
Yeah, no, I'm promoting the show. Sorry, I'm just completely out of it.
He didn't catch a word that either one.
No,
of us
I
said.
did. I'm just, if Hamlin wins this year, I'm trying to figure out how to frame this question because I've been doing the like podcast angled questions, and we both know my mind doesn't work like that very well. Would it take anything away for Denny's championship season to come in the year that the format is the most criticized and the most hated that it's been?
No, I mean, what's the difference between this year and, the last 10 years, other than the fact that it's been more criticized? It's the same rules. It's the same deal. And I mean, again, I think you look at his season and, they've just been competitive all year long. A lot of times over the last 10 years, we've seen guys who like aren't really there in the first half of the season and kind of show up in the second half. We've seen guys that shouldn't even be in the playoffs essentially. And then, they get there right at the end. Logano's one that comes up a lot. So if he were to win the championship, I feel like it is earned. Like, I feel like, despite the format, he has been a championship contending car.
Yeah, I think there's one car in the field that I would say wouldn't have earned it.
Cody Ware?
No, it's the 22.
I already said, though, can we just...
Again, it's how well you do and, going to execute. And I shouldn't even... That's unfair to say that to him. And it's mostly me poking fun.
Yeah, it's mostly poking fun. But I will say it's looking like the trend is going to hold.
Unless there's an upset.
Unless there's an upset.
It's Talladega this weekend, and then it's Martinsville. Fun stat. So the winners of the first race, the opening race in the round of 8, 5 of the last 9 winners have gone on, of that race, I should say, have gone on to win the championship. Do you attribute that? And this is what Hamlin had to say about it. He basically said he's got an advantage and he'll get a week more of sim time because of that win. So this week he was preparing for Vegas. Next week, everyone's at Talladega. So everyone's going to be preparing for Phoenix, essentially, because you're not going to get better at Dega in a sim. And then the week after is where the advantage comes in that he'll have. And I guess whoever wins Talladega will have.
Well, and that's the big part too, is it's not only that, but you've got guys like the Logano's and Blaney's that are going to be spending, well, now it's less than 2 weeks, but spending the 2 weeks trying to get their cars ready so that they, can win at Martinsville and get into the race. So yeah, he gets the big advantage where, I mean, he essentially, I know he's not going to be putting his feet up, but he can essentially put his feet up and, chill for the next couple weeks, but that's going to come in the form of, getting ready to put everything they have into the Phoenix.
Into the Phoenix.
Into the Phoenix.
What do you think, Josh?
I think
I guess, sorry, a little different than previous years. Talladega's been in the round of 12, right? This is the first year it's been in the round of 8. So
Correct.
Like that guy was the only guy with the advantage who won that first race.
Yeah.
And then
I guess
the guy who won okay. I guess the guy who won the second week would still have it. Never mind. I don't know why my brain did that. That's on me.
I don't think much is going to I don't have much else to add on top of what Caleb just covered. I think he hit it pretty spot on. I mean, we all know Dega is going to be the wild card that it is. I like it. I know Caleb doesn't, but just being able to go into Dega and be able to just kind of balls to the wallet and not have anything to worry about, I think puts it at an advantage that you can just go have fun. I think a lot of that team's like Hamlin's morale with the way that he supports 2311 and like when Bubba said like he can just go and have fun when he had his win, I think that same thing would apply for this race. I think he can just go and have fun and not have to like worry and stress and oh my gosh, am I going to tear this car up yada yada.
Yeah, and that's obviously huge with what Talladega is and in how it races. It's one of my favorite races of the year. It's probably my favorite track on the schedule that isn't Iowa because I grew up going to it, and I've seen the fans that are down there and how much they party. It reminds me of good buddies. Shout out to them over at the Loosest Fast podcast. They don't do the Circle Jerks name anymore. It went on a race car and NASCAR got pissed. Fun story from them. We'll have them on again sometime. We did it a few years ago and we just got drunk together. And I think I did a Trump impression and it was very funny. No one got mad. And then afterwards we were like, I probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah. But anyways, I love those guys. Big shout out to them. I'm trying to figure out high limit qualifying just got over. I'm trying to figure out where we were at. What did you guys have anything else from the actual race this week that isn't related to William Byron running into Ty Dillon, who was trying to pit?
I mean, kinda. You could kind of use that, like banking it off of that. Like, yeah, it was not the only pit road incident that happened. I've been seeing a lot of clips this week about Michael McDowell's entry on pit road where SVG about did the same thing to him. So I guess the question is for y'all is, I mean, what do we think? Do we think there needs to be some type of rule implemented there where to prevent that?
What rule would you, I know I'm doing the thing where I'm like, hey, prove your idea here, but like,
I don't know, maybe something along the lines of like you actually
go
paint
under
the line. Well, you like almost like would paint the line upwards, not as like a commitment line. But like if you're gonna pit, you have to
on the backstretch. That's what I do.
I mean, because I don't think we see this situation at like any other track outside of like what we did at Old Atlanta and Vegas. I think everything else is pretty. I guess Texas, but
we almost figure it out at New Atlanta.
Yeah, that is also true. I don't know. My thing is, it's like it's if I had a nickel for every time that happened, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but I've got 2. You know, like I guess if it becomes a problem more, like then I think we have to deal with it. But for now, it's kind of just like well, that was strange, and there was some sort of communication breakdown. I don't really know exactly where that breakdown was, but apparently Chris Rice seems to think he knows where it was. So, I would guess if it's, if it continues to be a problem, then we'll have to do something. I mean, do what IndyCar does where, you have to be, you have to go through 3 and 4 on the apron and not trying to jam up on the brakes when you're right in front of pit road, basically.
I do think if they ever put a rule in like that, if it was on the backstretch, like, I mean, I don't know if you got to like set a speed limit to it, or I don't think you could really.
Why do you need to though?
I feel like someone's going to sail it into 3 and 4.
Just let someone hustle 3 and 4.
But okay, so here's what you do. So you have the commitment cone before the turn, and then it's essentially, if you're going to pit, you have to be below that commitment line, or if if you're below that line, then you have to pit, or what have you. But then it's all like, how fast can you go through 3 and 4 without wrecking? And then you still have your at the beginning of the actual pit road, you still have the line where, okay, you have to be slowed down to by that point. But it adds in a part of like, okay, so-and-so just got through 3 and 4 on the apron better than so-and-so did, and they gained even more time, like you've got that kind of playing out too. So, I mean, I don't see why you would necessarily need that in there. It's more so of like, you're down there, you're pitting, go at your own speed.
I think it would definitely be so like much more exciting. I think it would add so much more action of green flag pit stops.
Yeah, and I think it would bring action. I'm just saying, in 10 years, when the guys that are playing NASCAR 25 right now, the kids, when they get up and they're driving, they're going to sail it in there, and you can do it a lot easier on the video game than I'm sure you can in real life. I have done it all weekend. So, more on that later. Dylan Goodin's joining us. If you guys are just joining us, if you have any questions about the game, leave them in the comments. We'll get to them when he comes on around 7:40 Central Time, whatever time it is now, 20 minutes from now or something like that. Ty Dillon's spotter got fired today, his former spotter, I should say. Joe White is his name. He sent a tweet out, said, got to Talladega, parked the bus, got fired in an Uber to the airport to go home for the weekend. And then in a reply tweet, he says, also, to be clear, it was already determined that I would not be spotting for Ty next year, but that I would still be with Colleague in some fashion, but not now. So fired from Colleague. I don't know if that's from a higher up. I don't know if that's from Colleague per se, a manufacturer. It'd be Chevrolet in this case. But I haven't seen anyone, at least in a podcast clip or in the public forums, come out and say that guy was at fault. And he also stated that he was signaling that they were going to pit.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, there was. I personally think that there was multiple issues at hand that led to that. It's just, if he did what he is supposed to do, then how is he at fault? So I think it was probably a combination of him. It was probably a combination of Ty. It was probably a combination of Byron. I think it was just a little bit of everything that created a perfect storm. And yeah, if it continues, maybe we need to do something. But yeah, I didn't really go into it thinking like one specific person is at fault for that. And it's super unfortunate to drive all the way to the track and park the bus just to find out that you're not only
getting back on the bus.
Strategic timing to make sure the bus got there.
Well, I mean, that's probably a big part of it, but
that is the part of it.
Especially if he had to Uber back.
Uber to the airport and fly home. So, okay. Also on Sunday, that's enough of the race. Do you guys still want me to read these tweets off?
It's your show, bub.
Okay. We'll read a couple and you guys tell me if they're funny. So anyway, Adam Stern posted this on Twitter. He said, with an NFL lead-in of 7.2 million viewers, NHRA slightly topped NASCAR on the most viewed motorsports chart this past weekend. This number, it was 1.872 the other day. NHRA came out and said it was over 2 million. I forget what their peak audience was. NASCAR got 1.7 million on USA Network. We've said it already. This is what happens when you go for the TV deal that gives you more money and less network races. And if you care at all about how many people watch your races, you should be racing on NBC, square on Easter, on the 4th of July, every holiday. Just rough for NASCAR. But
here's my question though. Yeah. So we've seen, I mean, how does that compare to last year's NASCAR race?
I think last year was around 2.5.
Okay.
I think don't quote me on that number. But I believe it was around
if there. That is the number.
I saw it in a tweet and I don't remember who tweeted that. I do. I'm not giving him a shout out though. All he does is bitch.
Damn.
It's true. I mean,
trying to look it up to see if
2.7. Oh, hold on. 2.3 million last year on NBC. He said that was what Gluck reported. So,
yeah, I'm not too bothered by the. I'm trying to like figure out in which way I want to take this. So I'm not too bothered about the fact that like NASCAR was dethroned as like the number one spot, just because how many of those people still have their TV on from watching football and like didn't actually, pay attention to the NHRA?
Well, yeah, I think that's the obvious thing here. And it's still just, it's a number, right? Like we care so much about this that we bring it up on this show even every week. And we sit here and tell people not to care about it. NASCAR doesn't care about it. They took the money deal. It's clear they don't care about it.
I mean, I think to a point they obviously should care about it, but so I'm more, that's why I asked about last year's numbers is, I'm more concerned. Yeah, that's a pretty big.
That was on NBC, by the way. I don't know if I vocalized that.
I'm with you on that.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
I think that's where you got to pay attention, because now you're like, I don't care whether, it's on NBC or, what have you. This is what we're getting for viewers now compared to last year, compared to 2 years ago. And, that's the number we got to focus on, not really so much on, what the other people are doing.
All right. So, I was reading through some of these, and I took a Colorado brownie last night, and I wrote down the ones that made me laugh. So some of these might not be as funny as I thought, but I will read some of the best tweets I saw in the responses. James Towell 007 says they are going to stop racing 1/16th of a mile through each run next year to do stage points. So this will stop soon. He says the ratings for NHRA would then go down. Tom Graham says that it's because the NHRA has playoffs and the Tony Stewart effect. He says he then compares it to, quote, what is happening with the Cars Tour with Dale Jr. and Kevin Harvick, and also Caitlin Clark, all very comparable. I'd say those are three things that are very much different in the show. Anyways, this guy's name is Ricardito Gampesino. He says, I was at a bar with a fucking Rusty Wallace car on the wall, and they had NHRA on 4 TVs, Cup Race on 0 in all caps. His name's Ricardito, so I'm not sure what his IQ is, but when you just asked them to put the NASCAR race on, if you wanted to watch the NASCAR race.
Yeah, but then you run into the situation of the stereotype that restaurants can't figure out their TV remotes.
Hand it to them. You can volunteer to do it for them every single time.
Yeah, but here's the problem too. Like their next question, what channel is it on? And then they were gonna have to find that specific channel when your 3 main ones are just what the TVs are going to be on. So
and one of those being the channel that they usually stream football on. So
right. Asret7 asks, why can't we have a later afternoon race? It already started at 4:30 Central Time, meanwhile. And then he said that he could see RuPaul getting 7 million viewers on NBC, but not the NHRA getting 1.8. He thinks that's fake.
Nice.
Little does he know they got 2 million. So let's see. That's a stat. That's not very funny. This Kyle at Racing Nation TV says, imagine if IndyCar raced in October and could slot before or after the NFL. What a concept. I guess we're just judging TV numbers with no regard for you'd still be going up against the NFL, and you got to get pretty lucky to get into that NBC slot, right? You're not going to strategically schedule a race there to say, hey, we want the NBC slot after the NFL games on week 7.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I got one more quote. It's from Matt Weaver. It says, Connor Ferguson is a really good hang, but that was just off the NASCAR video game. So that was all the funny ones. I think I filtered those good. But
we knew the last one was because we know Matt Weaver doesn't hang out in your circle.
Hold on. Could you say that any?
Damn.
Could you be any ruder with how that came? My goodness.
I mean, that was the
like Weaver wouldn't hang out with you, Connor. Like, you guys aren't tight like that. I get that. Not in the same circle. That's like so insulting. I mean, he's got way more money than I do. I get it. Like, he's a pinkies up type of guy. Real hound dog of a truck with about half a million miles on it.
Oh God, it's up there.
It's 400 something thousand. So, should we talk Talladega?
Let's tee it up for Caleb.
I need you to just pretend to like Talladega for 5 minutes.
He won't. He will refuse to.
The more time goes on, the more I'm with Tony Stewart on putting some of them backwards and just.
The only positive thing that Caleb finds out of Talladega, this is a high percentage that a Penske car wins.
That's fair. You got any picks for this weekend? Or are you going
Ryan Blaney?
Cody Ware.
I'm thinking Ryan Blaney. I mean, listen,
another $10 bet.
I wouldn't count Blaney out for Talladega.
I would not bet against Ryan Blaney.
That's for sure.
Nate says never do the Talladega song. I hope you got that reference. I hope you know the Talladega song.
Yes, I'm sure he knows. Knowing what I know about Nate, I'm sure he knows that song.
That didn't make any sense either. First, the circle. Okay. All right.
No, I stand by the circle comment.
Okay. Real quick, I'll just preview super quick. If you got anything to say about trucks and Xfinity, the truck race is Friday at 3:00 on Fox, Big Fox. So that's kind of cool. But 3:00 Central Time on Friday, and the standings are like Corey Heim has advanced. Everyone else is within 6 points of each other. So it's Tyler Ankrum +2, Daniel Hemrick +2, Raja Karuth is +1, and then Lane Riggs is -1, Ty Majeski -2, then Infinger and Caden Honeycutt are both -4. Xfinity, Connor Zilich has an 82-point lead.
I think they said all he has to do is finish the first stage or get points in the first stage, and
I was gonna ask, yeah. Is it one? Well, I don't know if that's right. Yeah, it probably still is right. I don't know. That's a lot.
I think he needs to finish like 6th or better at the first stage.
Listen, fact of the matter is, if for Zilich to not move on, he has to have Josh Berry type playoff.
Yes.
It would piss off so many people, though.
Yeah, me including.
I'd be upset. I'd
be sad for him. Like I'm not wishing that, but like for the people that. Go ahead.
I'm all for this playoff format. I always think it's fun, but my God, would I be so pissed if he doesn't make the 4.
I mean, and that's really where we're at. Where like, if Heim does not win the championship, it's gonna be just devastating. I mean, it's gonna be just a travesty. I mean, it's seriously so stupid if he does not win this championship. And the same goes with Zilich. I mean, those two have been so dominant in those series. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They should be the champion, along with in the Cup Series, Joey Logano.
That in there. Can't do that to me.
Disgusting.
The rest of the Xfinity standings going into Dega. Justin Allgaier is +44. Jesse Love is +20. Sam Myers +8. And Brandon Jones is -8. Sheldon Creed -21. Carson Quapple -22. And then Iowa native Sammy Smith -24. There at the bottom of that one. So you get.
There's no E. There's one E in there.
One E. What?
Yeah.
You said Sam Meyer.
Did I say Sam Meyer instead of Sammy Smith?
No, you said Sam Meyer as Sam Mayer.
Oh, my bad.
We both looked at each other like.
Oh yeah, well I was looking off screen. That makes sense.
Just that's like my name tonight was what? Slow Hugh.
Slower.
I just softened.
Slower.
Well, I screwed it up too many weeks in a row. I can't just say it normally now. That's why I checked right before. Want to make sure I didn't clash with the actual pronunciation. You're welcome to just correct me every time, but I think it's funnier to give you a different one.
I mean, to be fair, I said you're still wrong right away.
Yeah. And you're correct. Cup playoffs. Denny Hamlin's on the next round. Kyle Larson has a 35-point cushion. Christopher Bell is +20. Chase Briscoe is +15. And then William Byron, despite that huge wreck with Ty Dillon, is only -15. He's the first one out. Chase Elliott's -23. Logano -24. Blaney -31. So both Penske's there at the back looking to grab a win. And then if anyone grabs a win, obviously or anyone outside the cutoff grabs a win, all the lines go down, and then Kyle Larson's only 15 to the good, as he said in that post-race interview. So what are you guys looking for here? I think Larson's gotten better at Talladega. Do you think anyone's going to sit in the back until late in the race, like we used to see in the tandem days?
Maybe the guys that are like must win, like
Yeah,
Blaney, Logano.
You can always see it happen. I don't know if I can see Logano winning this weekend. I mean, obviously there's a chance, but it's not like he's been, a real favorite there compared to like Blaney. As long as Blaney can do what he normally does there, I think that'll be a strong choice. Of course, Bell can always be in the conversation. Byron's pretty decent at Talladega. Chase Elliott, solid there as well. And, who else is really good there is Denny Hamlin. So we could see him just kind of cock block. So
Nice.
It would be really funny to see, like, he was in the lead and clear cut, like, this guy's going to finish second. Is Hamlin going to pull over and let him win or not?
No. I think we saw that from last week.
2 weeks ago, but yeah.
2 weeks. Well, whatever.
I was going to say he wasn't going to pull over for Chase Briscoe.
No.
Excuse me.
The car that he owns.
Yeah, but he's the driver of the 11. He's got to race like the driver of the 11. Come on.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to drive like the driver of the 1.
That guy hasn't driven like the driver of the 1 in like a year and a half.
That's not true. He did.
He just did it last week.
Oh, yeah. I did.
Yeah, we know what you meant.
I know. Did I send it to the group chat that I said? Oh, at the Roval. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
That was fair. Who was that driving like? That's a good question, is what that is.
Like Ross.
I'm trying to compare it to someone that isn't Ross, but that's fair.
Okay, Carson Hocevar.
Old Ross would do that on like lap 64 to get like one extra stage point.
Oh, yeah.
I told him those were important this week.
Ross would certainly never make a crazy move right at the end of the race to try to get into the next round. We've never seen anything like that from him before.
I haven't either. At least one that would be legal today. So come on, Caleb. That's banned. We're not supposed to talk about it on here. Okay, so I think that was a good Talladega preview. I'm very excited for that race. That's Sunday at 12:30, I think, on NBC. 1 o'clock on NBC. I wrote it down here. I have to come out and say, first, we'll do this first. I know. Daniel Suarez is rumored to be the replacement for a departing Justin Haley at Spire Motorsports. Kind of shocked by this. Spire got rid of Corey LaJoie. Didn't make the car faster. Then they got rid of Rodney Childers. It didn't make the car faster. And now a Cup Series winner, right? Can you guys fact check that for me?
He is a Cup Series winner.
Cup Series winner. Now he's out of that car. And the rumor that is replacing him is Suarez.
Well, it sounds like he's just getting demoted. Sounds like he's still going to be with. Yeah, it sounds like he's still going to be with Spire or a colleague of some sort.
Listen, I'm all for Justin Haley being in like a truck. I think he would do really good there, especially with the energy that the Dodge team has coming in and all that stuff. Like I think he could do it. As much as it is kind of surprising to see Haley get kicked out of Cup in that ride, at least. The results have kind of showed that it needs to happen. So
yeah, I mean, you look at his teammates and they're not blowing it out of the water, but like they're consistently running better than he is. I think he's a great driver. I don't know if there's something wrong internally with that team, but it's just not working. And I think at this point they're just throwing the kitchen sink at it.
I'm with you. I can respect both those things. I would take Haley over Suarez if everything was perfect, but not every situation is perfect either. So we'll see how it turns out. I don't want to keep him waiting any longer, but our guest for the night is here, and I got to figure out how to change how the camera goes. But we'll get it.
We're gonna get real skinny.
There we go. Yeah, that would have been funnier. Dylan, thank you so much for joining us. I guess I should do a big long intro for you, but award-winning motorsports gaming content creator, Dylan Goodin, everybody. And if you're wondering what award you won, we're giving you one in December, and we're doing an award show, and we need you to present an award to somebody else. So.
Okay. Yeah. What a prestigious award. Thank you.
I don't know what it'll be called yet, but we'll make it whatever you want.
Can we do like the most beloved, front row motorsports driver, and we'll give it to Landon Castle or something, and then he can
There it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So Dylan, I don't know how long we've followed each other on Twitter. I think it's been around 12 years.
It's been a long time.
You broke my heart because I wanted to be the number one Landon Castle fan in the world. I had to settle for Mike Lynette. I'm his biggest fan, at least. I just cheer for everybody from Iowa because I grew up here as well. But tell everybody kind of your upbringing and what you do now, and how you can go with how much you like Landon Castle or how badass of a wheelman he is.
Oh gosh. So yeah, been a NASCAR fan since I was a kid. We know I was a Jeff Gordon fan, Jerry Nadeau fan, Buckshot Jones fan. One of those isn't like the other. But clearly I like drivers that don't win a lot, if that makes sense. And so when Landon started coming up through the ranks and stuff, like he drove the 5 car, and I'm like, oh, he's going to replace Jeff Gordon when he retires. So that's how I became a Landon fan.
Oh, hell yeah.
It just stuck. And so I was the type of guy that I pestered him enough on Twitter to play Call of Duty with me because he was tweeting about it, and that's just kind of what happened. And we became friends, and it's kind of history from there.
I love that. And yeah, you guys are like friends in real life now, which I think is the coolest aspect of watching you from afar and watching you play all these racing video games and stream them on. I think you post videos on YouTube. Do you stream on Twitch at all?
No, I'm not much of a streamer. I try to do my YouTube videos like I'm streaming, but with no chat. Like, it's just kind of a chill thing. I don't do a lot of cuts or a lot of editing. I just, people watch me play the game. I do stream a little bit, but it's just very rarely. It's just not my thing. I would rather just do things at my own pace and not, feel like I'm obligated to say hi to every single person in the chat.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you guys just interject with your questions whenever, because Dylan did a video just on his thoughts on the game, so I want to keep it a little different from that too. But I guess my first question is now still just going to be, what are your thoughts on the game, Dylan? How much fun have you had playing NASCAR 25 since it came out?
Oh, it's a lot of fun. And that's, I think, the most important thing about this game is its fun factor. A lot of people, when it was announced that iRacing was producing this game, it's under the iRacing Studios name, but they essentially had bought Monster Games, the people that made NASCAR Heat or to Daytona, and they're the ones that are essentially that made it. And anyway, I'm delving too far in here, but
oh no, I like it. I think all the 100 people watching are going to enjoy that.
So it's made by Monster. So there is a NASCAR Heat skeleton here, and that's apparent. But for me, it's not a bad thing. But it's not iRacing on console, and I think a lot of people got that twisted. But it's just a lot of fun. It's got the laser scan tracks from iRacing. The cars are laser scanned as well, and the driving model is the best part of the whole game. It does not drive like NASCAR Heat. It drives almost like iRacing. Like, it's fun, whether on a wheel or a controller, and that's what I'm looking for in a console game.
I'm also curious to hear like the process of you being kind of approached and being able to be one of the people that got to give a preview of the game and one of the first people to play the game. So kind of walk us through that process.
So it was kind of my first time that this ever happened too. Like when NASCAR Ignition came out, they gave a lot of codes away to content creators, and I had been at it a couple years at that point, and I didn't get one, so I was real bummed. So I told myself the next NASCAR game that comes out, I'm not going to let that happen. But I'm still not a huge YouTuber. You know, I don't have 10K subscribers yet. We're almost there. We're about 1,400 away. The reason that I really got selected to do this is because of my relationship with Matt Lewis, the lead producer of the game. I had made videos when Motorsport Games had got the license to make the games. Monster Games had to go do something else, so they made the Tony Stewart Sprint Car game, All American Racing, SRX game, and so I was talking about the SRX game on my channel, and he like DM'd me and gave me a code, and since then we've had a pretty good relationship, and I've been able to get the World of Outlaws games early and preview those. And so, I mean, honestly, it's about connections, and I'm lucky because normally it's just, hey, whoever's the most popular gets to do this, but I don't know. My life seems to be about making connections with people and getting the benefits from that. But it was really cool just having someone like designing a game, DMing you, say, hey, we're going to do this with the Discord. You know, you're going to get a code this and this time, and learning about embargoes and stuff. It's been a fun process.
Yeah, and you're a guy who tweets with his sleeve, wears his heart on his sleeve. But I read your tweets about not being included originally in something or another, and maybe I'm remembering back down the road. But I was so psyched to see that you got included for this one, and you got that care package today. They sent you a flag.
Yeah, it is a flag. It's got here. I've got a cool, like this is my favorite part. It's a helmet with iRacing Studios, NASCAR 25. This is going on the desk for sure. And a couple other little things. It's just cool to get stuff like that. You know, it kind of feels like, hey, I'm somewhat important, you know, if that. And I'm sure some people, like I've been called a paid shill about this game multiple times. Just because
I was going to put that in the intro about you. Is that you were paid to come on here and say good
Yeah.
things only about it.
Yeah, I've been told that like all the gameplay I've posted had to be approved, and you know, I got paid and got just because I got a free copy. No, I mean, yes, I got a free copy and that care package, but that's not going to make me call a bad game good. You know, it's for me with this game and with NASCAR games, like on console, I am looking for Simcade, sit on the couch with a controller and have fun. And you can do that with this. Now I use a wheel, but that's really just for content creation, you know. But it's really, really fun. And I think, and I'm not saying it's without problems either, and we can delve into that in a little bit, but it's the best NASCAR game we've had probably since PS2, in my opinion.
I'm completely with you on that. And the AI is so much fun to race against. There's not many racing games, even that World of Outlaws game, it happens a little bit to you. And you really got to crank the difficulty for this to happen. But for you to be able to be faster and go faster than the car you're chasing, and then they can over under you and counter you, and then they get faster than you if you miss a corner. And for that battle to be existent for 20 laps, I mean, there's very few games I can remember playing in my lifetime that the AI was this much fun to race against.
Agreed. Yeah, they run different lines. They will actually race you, take you 3 wide, and like run the apron at like Kansas. I was very surprised about that. And they'll take the runoff at the road courses too. Like they'll go past the curb. It's like a hybrid of the NASCAR Heat and iRacing AI, I think. And I think it's really good. The main problem with it is just pit logic. They don't pit when they should. Like if they run 20 laps and they have tire wear. Like I did a race today. It was like 50 laps long, and we ran 15. And there was a caution, and nobody pitted. And then they started pitting the next lap. And they just need to figure that out, you know? It's like that's the one thing holding me back from saying this is the best NASCAR game I've ever played.
Yeah, I've played the game entirely way too much since it's came out, but I've been doing 100% races on career mode, aside from a few ARCA races. But the AI, especially when you get in the third stage, if there's a caution that comes out and it's not like within the pit window for fuel, they won't pit. They'll pit in like 12 laps. But if there's a caution that comes out and everyone has worn tires and there's 20 laps to go, 9 cars on the lead lap, you'd think no brainer, should probably pit here. Yeah. And none of them come in and pit, and you go in and pit, and it doesn't matter what difficulty you're on at that point. You're going to win the race on fresh tires. Yeah. And it's like, it feels cheap. I hope they can fix that. I don't know how easily that is fixed and how big of a problem it is, but I hope they get that fixed.
Yeah. That's the one complaint I have. Like, that's it. I mean, maybe night lighting, but like I can live with everything else but it's just, that's the one thing.
You want to hear what my biggest complaint, my dumbest one. Sorry, I cut you off. So if you want to finish your thought. Okay. I am so freaking pissed off that you can't play local game split screen. Oh, yeah. And my friend, we turn off the cautions and my buddy goes backwards and we try to race. And we see who wins between trying to beat the AI and guy who's trying to wreck you. That's the most fun I had growing up.
Every person I know that plays these games that doesn't like NASCAR, that's just what they tell me. I just want to go backwards.
I find it super interesting. First off, we've heard Connor complain about
all the time.
Yes, everyone's heard my complaints too. So since the game got announced and that was a detail, I think every episode I've mentioned it that I've been mad about it. So
I would say the pit strategy thing, and then my only other thing is not being able to make any adjustments on pit road, especially when I have also been doing 50-100% races, and so it's like, you get to a point where an adjustment halfway through would be super, super helpful. So that's it. I'm not like Quentin, our friend. He's really upset that the sun sets in the wrong direction at Iowa Speedway.
It's a fair complaint.
He's hung up on that one.
Minor details.
Yeah.
I do know that they're looking into fixing that. The not the sun, but the pitting under yellow, or not pitting under the adjustments while pitting under yellow. They haven't said that, yeah, this is for sure happening, but I know it's like a priority. But I do wonder why that wasn't in to begin with, It's just, I guess I do have an opinion. I think they had 2 years to make this game, and I think they just ran out of time. I don't mean game should have been delayed, but it's just they got all the really necessary stuff in, and it was just time to release, and get to it. And I don't mean that, I guess, negatively, because that's just how it is. We'd have a NASCAR 25 come out in February with the old, I don't want that. So I think it's, they're at the mercy of maybe investors.
Yeah, and I think too, and I know you were talking about on your channel of people calling it the base game, and that's annoying. I think if you're going to make a video game, go make a video game, make it as good as you can, and give yourself adequate, ample time to actually make it and do what you need to do. And I think for the most part they did, aside from, and you guys have heard my complaints on that type of stuff. I just wish they'd let me turn off track limits at road courses.
That would be a nice thing to have. The track limits are a little egregious. I haven't ran Coda, and I heard those are bad there. But turn 1 at Watkins Glen, I go off.
I was gonna say that's the big one that I've heard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just what? Come on, there does need to be. I feel like that should be an easy fix, just an option to just turn it off and not let us deal with it. I can deal with it, or just make it under black flags. Make it to where because the only black flag in the game is speeding, whatever.
Yeah, and I was going into this question, and my brain just switched on me, so I apologize for that. Now I've forgotten it again. Hold on. I have it written down. I just got to find it in the list. The career mode, and this being a base game, I think as long as I see big upgrades in the career mode when they come up with a second game in this series, and obviously it's going to be after that IndyCar game comes out, right? And we'll probably see a similar bare bones career mode. I think the career mode's a bit shallow. I haven't played through the whole thing, obviously. But it's as long as I see constant improvement, I think the NHL has put out the same exact career mode for 6 games in a row now. every single year. So as long as I see like, good improvement, like you
What
made
kind
an
of
effort.
improvement do you expect? I guess,
I
like,
want
what's
to be
your
able to race
expectation?
for real teams. I want contracts. I want drivers getting fired, drivers switching teams. Stupid shit like that.
And I think they'll get that at some point. I don't know if it's going to be next year or the year after that. Like, I know they've at least admitted that it's something that they, want in their plan. Um, I'm not upset with the career mode this year. I think they put most of their time in the modes towards career mode. Um, I do like it. I do think it'll keep me entertained for what I'm doing, but I can understand why some people might. The driver silly season stuff doesn't really bug me that much. But I do obviously want it implemented. I don't know. It feels like every time I go back to the menu or the race shop, there's always something to do. But I know it's really just window dressing. You
Oh,
pick one thing.
I think in the ARCA season, I just started buying all my parts. I'm not sure that was the most efficient, economical way to do it, but it became very repetitive.
It took a little bit for me to figure out how to repair and change your inventory and this and that. I felt like maybe that could have been a little bit explained better, because like I just kind of, like, everybody that watched got to watch me kind of fumble around with the menus for a little bit and call me stupid. It's just like, I'm sorry.
I don't know if you've gotten to the truck series yet, but they make you start with like level 1 parts. I haven't really figured out the correlation, like if you hire someone or you go faster, like when it lets you buy the nicer parts or the faster parts, I guess. And I got to Atlanta, I think, and on 0% tightness, I'd spin out by the backstretch, and on 25%, I could not turn the truck. It was the worst thing I've ever driven in my life. And then you get the parts like eventually, like 3-4 weeks later. But it is a handful. I can't wait to see the video of you when you get there.
Yeah, I haven't made it to the trucks yet. I've got just like 4 races left in ARCA, I think. And that's been a lot of fun. Like, the ARCA car is the most underrated car in the game. It's a handful. ARCA at IRP is just chef's kiss. Like, it is so good. So I haven't really done a lot of truck races, and I feel like I haven't done a lot of like everything, just because I've been running career mode the whole time. So I'm kind of excited to see how everything drives. I've been trying to watch other content creators just to kind of get a good vibe, and I've heard good things, but I mean, we'll see. I do wonder how, like, season 5 or 6, it's going to be feeling when we're just doing the same thing over and over again. Like, how often these Dale Jr. videos are going to come up and stuff like that.
What are some of the vibes you've been getting? I mean, I know you're not getting a whole lot of info from the inside, but what are some, we've talked a little bit about it, but what are some of the other vibes or plans that you've kind of, heard people can look forward to in the coming years, or, next updates?
I think that they want to implement all of the more simulation stuff, like tire limits and silly season and stuff like that. I think with them, like, I think Monster has a good track record with making their games improve year after year. Like, everyone knew NASCAR Heat Evolution was bad, and then Heat 2 was a big step up. They added all the series, and then the Heat 3, I think they added more to the career mode. Heat 4, it looked better. Like, I think we can expect them to improve something in every game, and I just don't know what with this next one. Like, because the career mode, I feel like they put a lot of effort in, and I just wonder if they're going to do that again, because I know there's so many things. Like, I really do think at some point they're going to get caution replays in this thing, but I just don't know if that's going to come at the expense of making the modes better, or maybe getting a better replay mode or something, because it sounds like they're going to do yearly releases, and obviously we're not going to have a lot of time because it's just a short span, and they're doing patches and stuff to fix this game. So I don't know.
I did not figure they'd do a yearly release with the IndyCar project coming up.
I wonder who's going to be working on that. I don't know for sure.
So
I know.
I was under the impression that was the same studio.
Well, I think it's iRacing Studios, but I think they have, like, obviously there's the Monster team, and then there's I don't know if it is Monster also doing IndyCar, then I don't know, man. That's tough. Surely they have another team working on that. I would like to think so, but they did say they're going to be using the same physics engine, so I am curious to see how that works.
I had 2 questions written down, and Caleb happened to ask both of them, so I am out of ideas.
You're out of questions, Josh?
I am out of ideas.
You're criticizing me because I have my criticism. I can't believe you.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, like I'm very curious on what's coming up in the near future and the years to come. And thanks, Caleb.
So I heard that people are having trouble with crashes. Have you heard that? Like the game crashing on? I haven't had it crash on me once. It got a little slow.
What are you running on?
PS5.
So I'm running on a PS5 Pro, and I haven't had any problems. And I mean, I bought the Pro just for this because like I knew I wanted it to look good, play good, everything. Like I know the Xbox Series S version is a struggle. Like I've seen clips and stuff, and
Mine
I just
crashed
don't know
last night.
I've heard. I think Xbox has a lot more problems than PS5, and I know that like they had some weird stuff with like the force feedback where they couldn't get it replicated, and the PS5 one came out early. I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't know. It feels like anytime, like I'll go on Reddit and scroll and just see what people are saying, and it feels like the Xbox versions are kind of the ones that are struggling more. And I don't really know why, but I don't know. PS5 Pro has been perfectly acceptable for me.
I think I've had one time where it's crashed, and like that stuff doesn't bother me because like from a technical like knowing especially web development and stuff like that, like I know how buggy and how tricky that stuff is. So like I know that stuff will get fixed. I know, that's kind of some of the unforeseeable stuff. So it's not, like it's happening constantly or anything like that. But I do know too, like yesterday we were trying to get in multiplayer, and that was down for, well, really the entire time we were trying to play it. But I also told my friends too, like, hey, it's literally launch day. Like, let's.
I think
2 days ago.
I think that was a PSN issue yesterday. I don't know what you're on, but
I was also on Xbox. We were all on Xbox, so yeah, we couldn't get on there either.
Maybe.
But,
I know PSN was down last night, so it was funky for me.
Yeah, and again, I told my friends, I'm like, this is new, and like these problems are going to happen because there's going to be stuff that's unforeseeable. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the future. I'd love to see. Nate made a comment in here actually about
go for it.
As long as career mode isn't like NASCAR 2007, where I got fired from my low budget team for winning the Daytona 500. But I do remember, those games right in that time where, you'd go out and run some Xfinity races, and then, you'd have a mid-tier cup team pick you up or, give you an offer. And, yeah, I don't necessarily need like a full silly season where, Kevin Harvick retires and some, we don't need all that. Oh yeah, Connor, get over it.
I wasn't even that mad about it. That Dab for Dale guy on Twitter. Very mad about that. I'm more mad about the local split screen. But like so Dylan, you don't know this. I broke my leg like 2.5-3 months ago, and my dad's been wanting to play the game, and it's so much less enjoyable to sit there and tell him like do this. And do this with the controller and not be able to sit there and race against them and wreck each other at the same time.
When did you break your leg?
Middle of July.
Okay, so that's been a problem for 4 days of that last.
Shut the fuck up, Caleb. You want me to play NASCAR Ignition with my dad?
You go ahead. You go ahead. I didn't know you hated your dad that much.
Oh.
Dylan, what? So, and you've probably said it already, but what are a couple things that you wish they would add to a future game, if not the next game specifically? So maybe anything that's unique that you haven't said yet too.
I think that post-race damage and parts and stuff are something that I want to see. And I know there's parts in this, but and they've kind of got it with your parts will wear out after like 5 races. But like in Dirt to Daytona, you had like a legitimate damage report, and the same people made this game. Like no matter the amount of damage that you got to your car went out of your expenses just right away. I mean, you didn't have to go back and repair your car and physically do the stuff, but there was more of a like detailed list of stuff. And if you wrecked your car or blew your motor, you were in the red for the week, no matter how much money that you made. It's close, but it's not exactly the same thing. I do think the damage model needs work.
Them letting me completely repair my car every time I go to pit road
Yeah.
it's making me a menace.
It agreed. Like
I'm driving
I
my
hate that.
2023 Ross Chastain every week.
I do think the damage model needs some work. I don't have a complaint with like the damage, how it looks itself. I know other people do, but I do think that it's too hard to get damage. I want to rub against somebody and see donuts and not like, because like NASCAR on PS2 had that. With this, it's just I can kind of rub against somebody and go and nothing happens. You got to really hit someone to get it to show damage. I want to see that improved. I want the damage to be softer.
And you played that World of Outlaws game,
Yeah.
like virtually no damage. It's just that one wing panel curves in, right? That's
Yeah.
like, so I was not expecting anything from the damage model on this game.
And Dirt to Daytona had a good damage model. Like it was
Really?
I thought so. Like it wasn't perfect, but it felt like if you put it with all the way up damage, like if you bumped somebody in the back, your front end was going to be pushed in a little bit. With this, it's like you can hit somebody and nothing happens.
And I think that's one of the few NASCAR games I haven't played. I wanted to ask, and this is going to come off like a stupid question, but the same people make these games, and we have features that were available in 2002 that aren't replicated or aren't brought back. Why is that? How difficult as well is it to replicate those things?
I'm not for sure, because that kind of, I asked myself that question too, because like in the replay mode, like I want to be able to go car to car, like it's just locked on your car, and like Ignition got this right. Even you can't like go to like, so like it's your car and you can change the camera view in each, like you can do your normal camera views and you got a few others. And Dirt to Daytona, you can go to each car. You can like select whatever car and you just have those same options every time. And I just don't understand why they can't do it. I don't know if it's an engine thing, the engine they're using, but it was the same for Unity, or now they're on, I can't even think of it, Unreal. And I just don't know. I don't know if this is, again, something that they just couldn't get to because they ran out of time or what. But I don't know. I do think with this game, it was just getting as much as they could in, and the game comes out. We'll have to see for the next iteration what all their plan is. And it sounds like we're being very negative about the game, but I want to reiterate, it is so fun. It is like my favorite NASCAR game since NASCAR 07. Like,
I'm glad you say that too, because I very much love the game. And if your friend Matt is listening, man, I would do anything. The guy from the Firefest documentary, you and me, I just want local split screen. Okay. That's all I want. I'm kidding. But it's such a fun experience. I didn't think it would be that constructive to also just come on here and repeat that in different words for 30 minutes. Caleb, do you have more questions for Dylan? I whatever you want to say to Dylan, open floor, and then I want to hear your best Landon Castle story.
Well, I have a question for both Dylan and Connor.
Awesome.
You coming to the final Dirt at the Downs, Hawkeye Downs race this weekend?
gosh, I wish.
All right. So I'm supposed to be in Ohio. I'm not in Ohio, or not going to be in Ohio. I will get back to you.
Okay.
I would if I could. I would go up there so much more often if possible.
How far is it?
It's like 7 hours.
Yeah, that's
Not that bad.
Oh,
It's
it's pretty bad.
It's I mean, it's, I don't know. I don't mind to drive long distances. It's fine. With that, it's a pretty easy drive, but I mean, for me, it's always like I'm going up there for a good purpose, and so it's always fun. And gosh, I do want to get up there to see that, but it's just not going to happen, unfortunately.
Yeah. Is there any chance they do that again?
There is a chance that it happens. Hey, listen, you want to ask somebody that you know who's been organizing it, Roger Castle. If only we knew somebody who was close with.
It's not me. I DM Landon once every 2 years, like, hey, come on my show. And he's like, it's this fucking weird kid again. God damn it. I assume
It's hard to get a hold of him. He's very finicky. I can assure you of that. You'll text him and he'll either respond in 2 seconds or he won't respond at all, or sometimes it'll be 2 days.
It's fair.
Very
I'm the
busy.
same way.
He's got a lot going on.
Oh yeah, so Nate can hear him practicing from the house tonight. It is practice night. I was gonna say I literally live 5 minutes from the track, and out of the 4 weeks I think they've had dirt events, I've made to one weekend so far. So yeah, it's just been a busy year.
#fake fan.
I'm with you. I've been calling him that all season.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You guys got anything else for Dylan? Are you good?
I'm good.
I'm holding you to. I need your best Landon Castle story or funny.
Gosh, I'm
sorry to put the pressure on.
I feel the pressure because like now I feel like I don't.
Or we can rain check. I'll get you and Landon on at the same time, and you guys can just trade stories back and forth.
That's funny. He's very funny with when it comes at the track. It just depends on the mood and like how the weekend goes. Like I'll never forget. So I guess here's one. Back when he drove for the 40 car and the 33 was just kind of a rotation of either being an RCR car or Timmy Hill or Stephen Light or whatever.
It was in that Utechnics game, but it was camo.
Mm-hmm. And
which I don't know if that ever ran on the track in real life.
They ran it. It just didn't have that big logo on the hood.
Gotcha.
When it did, it was pink. So I think it was Ty Dillon was running the 33, obviously an RCR car, but it was still listed as a Circle Sport entry. And Joe Falk owned that team. And Landon's like, I will give you a hot passage for life if you go up to Ty Dillon and ask him what it's like to drive for Joe Falk. I didn't have the guts to do that. I didn't.
Oh,
I kind of knew I was gonna have hot passage for life anyway, but it's just I kind of wish I would. I would have loved to see Ty's reaction.
That would have been wild.
I have such a mouth on me, I wouldn't have hesitated. I will live with whatever circumstances come from this decision after I make it. And
I mean, aside from that, just him at my wedding being drunk and dancing was fun. Like I got to keep some of that close to the vest, but
I didn't want to pressure on it into any wedding stories. It's still super cool because I just grew up cheering for guys that drove from Iowa, and we didn't even talk about Rinus VeeKay on the show tonight. We'll get to it next week, but like Landon's just shut up. I'm getting there. I promise this is not an ADHD moment. Guys that do more with less in race cars, and Landon has over the course of his career consistently delivered on all those aspects, probably more so than anyone I've ever seen. And
well, now he's delivering you great deals at Castle Motors on used
vehicles. Is there any truth to these rumors?
No.
None?
No.
You could at least tease me a little and be like, yeah, like 10% chance you're gonna have like 50 DMs. And
listen, I love him to death and everything, and we've talked extensively about this, but I wouldn't get your hopes up about seeing him driving again. Anything more than local stuff.
I don't know if he's cool with Brett Moffitt, but Brett's got a 360 sprint car. If he ever wants to hot lap it, we could definitely make that happen.
I think
I'm speaking out of my ass because I've never talked to Brett about that, but
I think his kids are starting to race now, so he's probably going to get all in on that.
That's awesome, man.
I know his son has a go-kart now, so he's probably going to go all in on that.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to see it. If he's half the driver his dad is, he's going to grow up to be pretty good. I will buy the stock now. So, Caleb, Josh, you guys have anything else for Dylan?
Nope. I appreciate you coming on and talking. It's been a good time.
Yeah. Thank you so much for taking the time. If you want to stay on after this and shoot the shit, I just got to hit the end button. Everyone enjoy the weekend. I might end up watching racing with Caleb. We will see. Thanks again to Chris Weiser Companies for being the presenting sponsor. Everyone that watches, and if you got a message for Dylan, I'm putting his YouTube link in the description, and then his Twitter's tagged all over our Twitter too. So I'm sure he'll answer any DMs. You won't get that many, I promise, Dylan. But thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.